What if one of the most visually dazzling films of the 1990s quietly became a graveyard for careers, marriages, and lives that ended far too soon? The Fifth Element dropped in 1997 like a fever dream neon cityscapes, an orange-haired warrior, a villain in a white suit, and an opera performance that stopped time. It felt like nothing else. But nearly 30 years later, the people who made it have lived through divorces, dementia, financial ruin, secret love triangles, and deaths that Hollywood still hasn't gotten over. And before we're done, you're going to find out that someone on this list was quietly living a double life the entire time they were on set. If you love this film, do not click away. Number 1, we have Bruce Willis as Corbin Dallas. You might think the action hero always lands on his feet, but this one is heartbreaking. Bruce was 42 during filming in 1997, now 70 inches 2026. After his marriage to Demi Moore ended in 2000, he found a second chance with Emma Hemming Willis, and together they have 2 daughters. Then in 2022, his family revealed he was stepping away from acting after being diagnosed with aphasia, later updated to frontotemporal dementia. The man who saved the world on screen can no longer work. That's the kind of sentence that sits in your chest. Number 2, we have Mia Fry as Diva Plavalaguna. Before we say who she is, know this. She was a teenager when her most important relationship began, and the man she was involved with was on his way to becoming one of cinema's most powerful directors. Mia Fry was just 20 during filming, now 48 inches 2026. She had been with director Luc Besson since she was 15, and he was 31. During production, Besson left her for the film's lead actress. The diva's unforgettable opera sequence was filmed while her personal world was collapsing. She recently made headlines again for headbutting a journalist in Paris. Some people never stop commanding the room. Number 3, we have Gary Oldman as Zorg. He was 38 during filming, now 66 inches 2026. And here's the thing that changes how you see his performance entirely. He hated every second of it. Oldman only took the role as a personal favor to Besson, who had helped finance his own directorial work. He was also mid-transition between 2 relationships, moving from Uma Thurman to Doña Flor during this period. He later faced serious backlash in 2014 for publicly defending Mel Gibson, then issued a lengthy apology. A man who gave one of the most unhinged villain performances in sci-fi history did it while completely checked out. That tells you something. Number 4, we have Julie T. Wallace as Major Iceborg. She was 35 during filming, now 63, and if you're expecting a scandal, she's going to disappoint you in the best possible way. Julie, daughter of actor Andrew Falls, broke through in The Life and Loves of a She-Devil and became a quiet symbol of unconventional beauty in British television. No tabloid chaos, no public meltdowns. Just a respected actress who chose her private life over her public one. In a cast full of turbulence, that kind of steadiness is its own kind of remarkable. Number 5, we have Chris Tucker as Ruby Rhod. Stop what you're doing and subscribe right now, because this story needs your full attention. Chris was 25 on set, now 53 inches 2026, and for a brief window, he was one of the highest paid actors on the planet, reportedly earning $25 million for Rush Hour 3. Then came a brutal reckoning with the IRS over millions in back taxes that took years to untangle. He also became a devout Christian and began turning down roles he once would have taken without a second thought. The man who was once the loudest person in any room chose silence. You don't see that coming. Number 6, we have Ian Holm as Father Vito Cornelius. He was 65 during filming, and everything ahead of him still seemed vast. A triumphant return to acting after nearly 2 decades of severe stage fright that had kept him away from live performance entirely. He was beloved, irreplaceable, and working at the peak of his late career power. He was also, famously, a man who had been married 4 times and called himself the Lord of the Flings. But in June 2020, Ian Holm died at 88 from complications of Parkinson's disease. The warmth he brought to Cornelius was not an act. It was just him. Number 7, we have Sonita Henry as the president's aide. She was 20 during filming, making her screen debut, and is now 49 inches 2026. Her sleek, androgynous presence sparked genuine academic discussion about gender representation in science fiction, which is not something most film debuts can claim. She has continued working steadily in television and film, describes herself online as a lover of cars, dogs, and food, and has kept her personal life so guarded that this paragraph is basically everything the public knows. That's not a gap, that's a choice. If you're watching this and remembering where you were when The Fifth Element first hit theaters, think about it. That was almost 30 years ago. Share this video with someone who saw it opening weekend. Number 8, we have Luke Perry as Billy Masterson. He was 30 during filming, and on paper, everything in his life looked like it was building towards something. He had escaped the shadow of Beverly Hills 90210. His career was diversifying, and he was privately engaged to a therapist named Wendy Madison Bauer. Then in March 2019, Luke Perry suffered a massive stroke and died at just 52 years old. He was buried in an eco-friendly mushroom suit designed to return the body naturally to the earth, a detail so unexpectedly poetic that it went viral and somehow felt exactly right for him. Number 9, we have Tom Lister Jr. as President Lindbergh. He was 38 during filming, and in the years that followed, he found genuine stability, a marriage to Felicia Forbes in 2003, a daughter, a faith he credited with holding him together through a 2012 guilty plea for mortgage fraud that cost others $3.8 million. He avoided prison, he rebuilt, he kept going. Then in December 2020, Tom Lister Jr. died from heart disease at just 62 years old, the president of the world on screen, gone before he could see 2021. Number 10, we have Lee Evans as Fogg. He was 33 during filming, now 60 inches 2026. And while everyone else on this list was burning or imploding or falling apart, Lee Evans married Heather Nuds in 1984 and never left. At the peak of his comedy career, he walked away entirely in 2014, said the pressure of constant touring had cost him too much, and chose his family. No comeback tour. No explain yourself press junket. Just a man who knew what mattered to him. In a world that rewards spectacle, that might be the most radical thing anyone on this list ever did. Number 11, we have Brian James as General Monroe. He was 51 during filming, and his career was still accelerating over 100 film appearances, including Blade Runner, and a reputation as one of the most reliable character actors in Hollywood. His family life was stable, his future was open. Then, in August 1999, just 2 years after the film wrapped, Brian James died of a heart attack at 54. The sci-fi community lost him so fast that many fans never even knew he was gone. Number 12, we have Tricky as Right Arm. He was 28 during filming, now 57 inches, 2026, and his biography reads like a film that never got made. A Bristol childhood, tangled up in crime and gangs, a high-profile relationship with singer Martina Topley-Bird, a brief and chaotic stint near fame in the late 90s, legal trouble in 2009 after an altercation with security. He has always been more mood than man, more silence than statement. The Henchman was a perfect fit. Number 13, we have Matthew Kassovitz as the Mugger. He was 29 during filming, now 57 inches 2026. And at the time, he was already building a reputation as one of French cinema's sharpest and most confrontational voices. Since then, he has survived a severe motorcycle accident in 2023 that made international news, publicly feuded with French police on social media in language that left nothing to interpretation, and continued making films on his own terms. He was a mugger in one scene. He's been a provocateur his entire career. Number 14, we have Milla Jovovich as Lilu. She was just 20 during filming, now 49 inches 2026, and the story behind the camera is almost more dramatic than anything in the script. She and director Luc Besson began an affair while he was still with Mia Fry, who played the diva. Milla and Besson married in 1997 and divorced by 1999 fast enough to feel like a fever. And this was not even her first marriage. At 16, Milla had briefly wed actor Shawn Andrews, a marriage her mother legally had annulled. She eventually found lasting stability with director Paul W.S. Anderson, and together they have 3 daughters. She also became the face of Resident Evil for over a decade. The woman who played humanity's last hope turned out to be one of the most resilient people in the cast. We drop news stories like this every 2 days, so hit subscribe before you forget. Number 15, we have John Neville as General Statard. He was 71 during filming, and the number that defines his life is not that one, it's 62. As in the 62 years he remained married to Caroline Hopper, from 1949 until his death. He was appointed a member of the Order of the British Empire. He revitalized Canadian theatre. He performed Shakespeare for decades. He died in November 2011 at 86, having outlasted most of his era, having done the work quietly and completely. In a cast defined by chaos, he was the one who simply lasted. One final thought before you go. Nearly every person in this film was chasing something: fame, love, stability, reinvention. Some found it, some lost everything trying. And through it all, a 20-year-old with orange hair stood in the middle of a film set in Paris and became one of the most iconic figures in science fiction history without anyone realizing in the moment just how much that would matter. 29 years later, Lilu still feels like someone who just arrived from somewhere better than here. Drop a comment below telling us which cast member's story hit you hardest. We genuinely want to know.